When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Yeah, looks like, we just got sniped on Dante Moncrief.
That hurts.
Time travel with us to a live fantasy football draft in September 2016. This is Remember That Game, the podcast about sporting events that take you on a journey and maybe chart the path of the zeitgeist. I'm your host, Thomas Emerick, and my guest is Peter Overzet, creative lead at Fantasy Life, Ship Chasing, Underdog Streets, Swolecast, and proprietor of the Deposit Kingdom. Folks, get up on the YouTube, newsletter, Discord, Hot Best Ball Summer merch. The last time Peter Overzet was on this show, when we traveled back to 2013, where ADP had 11 running backs in the top 12. We smashed with receivers. But we messed with the time-space continuum, which I hadn't realized when we got back to present and we finished recording, but fortunately, I have fitted a car for time travel, so let's go pick up Pete, because otherwise we're headed for danger. Pete, sorry, I ran over your mailbox and all your trash cans, but I know this is crazy. You just saw me log off. After we time travel smashed that 2013 draft, some stuff got messed up. We have to go back. It's about your 2016 draft.
Oh, no. I think you're completely right. I have vague recollections of what happened, but I desperately want to go back in time and undo a lot of things that happened.
You shredded so hard in that 2013 draft that now you're going to get wrecked by the market correction in 2016. Pete, unlike even 2015, where it's AP, Charles, Foster, Martin to start, they're going to go 4 wide receivers at your high-stakes live draft in Vegas. So are you ready to hop in?
I'm ready. Are there any concerns? I know last time I got a little bit of a nosebleed. When we did this, my ears were kind of popping. I forget what the protocol is.
Your stomach's going to be real bad.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take a big sip of water, and I did actually get a seatbelt for my desk chair just to handle it this time.
Okay. Well, you're going to need it because we have a lot of work to do. Time travel rules. You can't run into your 2016 self, or else everyone dies, or you just faint. The rules are fuzzy, but you don't want to take that risk.
Okay, this is good to know. I believe I was wearing a white cotton t-shirt with a RotoViz logo on it, maybe some red tracksuit pants. It's going to be tough to avoid us because I know that Pat Carane and I were posted up in the Westgate ballroom where the drafts were happening, but I believe our backs were to the door. So if we can walk and kind of skirt around me and then shimmy over to our draft, we might be able to avoid breaking the time-space continuum.
Good. And I brought us walkie-talkie so we can post up different parts of the room and stay mobile as needed. Okay, let me just put some banana peels here in the gas tank. Don't worry about it. All right, PT Cruise is ready to send us back to September 2016. And all right, we're here. We're perched in the venue.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I think we're at table 11 there in the back. Our draft starts here in about 5 more minutes. I think we got to get over there and get set up. Did you bring your laptop, or did you print off cheat sheets?
Printed cheat sheets, almanac going here. And oh, wow. One thing that about 2016 that I frighteningly did not remember is that already we are starting to get some gym selfies in the fantasy space. I am feeling way more intimidated than I expected to be in a room with these guys.
This is a high T crowd. This isn't, the beta boys that we know. But I will say, there's been some whispers, around the draft boards, people more willing to take wide receivers. This used to be 3 straight rounds of all green on the board, all running backs. And it seems like there might be a culture shift. Some of these guys are, doing a New York Times crossword puzzle in the morning instead of going to the gym. It is kind of blowing my mind.
From coffee and gym to coffee and crossword, we got AB, Julio, OBJ, and AJ Green all off the board. We're at 6. And okay, someone just took Zeke. Interesting. I haven't seen him do it at the NFL level, but take the risk, I guess. Okay, well, we're here at 6, and we got David Johnson, Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins on the board. Hearing murmurs in the room that Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson are both under 25. That connection should only get better. And DeAndre Hopkins, he's going from Brian Hoyer to Brock Osweiler. How much worse can that really get? Trying to figure out how we can communicate to you and Pat without exploding all of us with a paradox.
Yeah, this is really hard. Like, what do we think we can get away with? Do you think we could loudly cough who we think they should take right now, David Johnson, or is there something more discreet we could do?
I think as long as we mix it up, we could be good. Let's just start off with the cough. Could be, or DJ. He tore it up down the stretch.
Oh, you know what? They actually thought that we were requesting a song to the DJ inside the Westgate. I don't think that's working. We might have to try a different tactic. Oh no, I think they're talking about a wide receiver right now. And I don't know if there's a good wide receiver pick here at 6.
Yeah, Allen Robinson, who I was training camp grinding. Actually, I go next level. I am a team facility grinding Allen Robinson, 15 pounds leaner from the weight he played at really well, but he looks good on that treadmill. And DeAndre Hopkins, and just think about it. Let's game out how 2016, like the aftermath, if you go up and slap David Johnson on that board.
I think you have to. I think it is an absolute alpha move. I do think something weird is going on here, that they might know something we don't know. I mean, this is the year of the wide receiver. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, Allen Robinson, these are the picks. You can't be taking a David Johnson. You can't be taking, a Lamar Miller or LaShawn McCoy. I mean, what is going on here?
Yeah. If we can get that David Johnson pick into you guys, and then hopefully you guys handle any sort of owning the person tries to do picking a receiver after you went running back. Hopefully you stand down.
Okay. I think we got him. I think we were able to avert the Allen Robinson crisis. I think we got him to take David Johnson.
Okay. And the person after you, they did do a particularly vigorous slam on the board of DeAndre Hopkins, did lead a chant. I say QB, you say proof. QB, proof. QB, proof. Oh, wow. The crowd's really getting into it. We need one of these teams to take Lamar Miller. So we ground things back and running back, and we get the crowd back on our side. Here, I'm whispering to someone that extrapolate that Miami to Houston. Okay, there we go. Got someone to take Lamar Miller. We're not alone. We're not alone here.
That was huge. That could have been disastrous had it come back to us in the second round. It could have seen us being tempted there. The thing you got to remember about young Pat and Pete in 2016, highly ideological zero RB bros. This was also their first ever high stakes draft, their first time ever doing a draft for more than $1,000. The pressure was high. They wanted to do the RotoViz brand, a solid reflect the ethos of the site. Their palms were very sweaty in this moment. I think we really need to steer them back on the straight and narrow.
Okay, we're up to 2-7, and Amari Cooper's on the board. Nothing felt greater for me in the year 2016 than going Amari Cooper, Sammy Watkins back to back. I could not stop getting exposed.
Yeah, Amari Cooper, comes into the league in 2015, 4th overall pick. And then is there anything we love more at RotoViz than a potential second-year breakout here? We don't care that he's on the Oakland Raiders. We don't care that they don't have a good quarterback situation. You just trust the process. Amari Cooper is the process.
While they were looking at the board, I snuck in and underlined some of their more bullish 2016 Falcons stats. And looks like they're going Devonta Freeman here. Last year's RB1. Get him in the mid-second round. Finish crawling back over to my lurking space. It's really hard to bail on receiver twice in the first 2 rounds without them calling you chicken. It might start an altercation that changes the future. Pick up a newspaper to see if your actions make too much of a ripple. The headline just changed to you getting arrested.
I am just realizing too, there were some other seismic events that took place in the world in the fall of 2016, just a couple of months after this draft. Are we worried about, upending a controversial election process by shaking up the draft board?
Uh, as much as I'd love to shake some things up that happened in 2016, I'm afraid of shaking too much and we all disintegrate. The entire universe.
Mm.
Back to the Future rules, we also might just faint depending on the situation. I think it's the number of people you run into yourself in front of determines whether or not it's universe explosion or minor plot inconvenience. But there's a wide range of scary outcomes.
What about this tight end premium element? Our heroes, they get their wide receivers, they're doing the zero RB thing, but you can't get behind at tight end. What are we going to have them do here?
We could go Travis Kelce here, but Kelce this early, would we set off some alarms?
I know. It
Yeah,
would be like I think people would start looking around and saying, Travis Kelce, 6 picks ahead of ADP. What do these guys know? What do
yeah.
they know right now? I think we might have to play it a little closer to the vest. I mean, Delaney Walker, he might be the guy that keeps everything on track here with the world.
Feels like a good move here. And it looks like you guys are all in on Delaney Walker too. And he's going to have a good year. The people that faded the Titans offense faded it wrong with at least a couple players. All right, let's hit it.
Oh, okay. It always feels good to get that purple when you're playing on FFPC.
I floated a little paper airplane across the room with Follow Your Gut on it. And 4-7 now. Yeah, looks like, we just got sniped on Dante Moncrief.
That hurts.
So let's see, catching up to speed. We got David Johnson, Devonta Freeman, Delaney Walker. So tight end premium here could go. Is a second tight end still in play in tight end premium here? Or are you thinking receiver, running back, or quarterback?
A little bully tight end, never hurt anyone. But I don't know. I've been reading these articles on RotoViz about the second year breakouts. We know how valuable these wide receivers can be. This 2014 class, it was loaded. It was absolutely loaded. We already got Allen Robinson. We got Sammy Watkins. Is there another second year breakout that these guys need to add to their team?
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
I'm very tempted. Kobe Fleener just got paid a lot of money. Travis Kelce did fall too.
Wow. Bully tight end. It could set off alarm bells, but it also would show a strong understanding of what this scoring format requires.
Travis Kelce in 3 could have gotten some people suspicious. Who's that rustling around in the background with walkie-talkies? But Travis Kelce in the 4th, I think people won't bat as much of an eye.
I just had to tell someone here from the FFPC that we're making a documentary actually and doing a little reconnaissance. They were a little spooked out by the walkie-talkies, but I think I smoothed things over. They know we're just here to, promote the site. I think we're okay.
I told them this is part of the documentary. We need some Foley, but I'm creating some like shingle noise in the corner with an autographed photo of Travis Kelce in the corner. Oh, it looks like it caught the eye of 2016 Pete. Okay, Travis Kelce's in there.
Oh, thank God. They needed this. I could see them, whispering about a Jordan Matthews pick would have been an absolute disaster to get Travis Kelce. This could completely save their reputation. They are going to go on to document this team in written form on the RotoViz website. I can't imagine them having to write a weekly column where they just painfully outline their horrible first high stakes team. This Travis Kelce pick could save them from having to do that masochistic exercise.
Yeah, I mean, having to do that every week would definitely take a toll, and to escape another harrowing fate, as we're doing here in this trip through time to 2016 Vegas, in the venue, or I'm finding another position for this next round where it looks like you guys are talking a lot about Jordan Matthews. I have this fedora I could put on.
Ooh.
I heard this was like Enchantment Under the Sea 1950s theme. Kind of weird for fantasy draft, but like that's why I brought the fedora. But maybe with that, and they won't notice it's me, and you won't see yourself. And I could just say something to them like, Jordan Matthews, what about Rashard Matthews?
Ooh,
I don't know.
I think that that fedora is very inconspicuous. I would say about half of the attendees here also have fedoras on. So you are fitting right in, would not be out of the ordinary whatsoever to have a fedora clad man show up to the table. I think that's an incredible suggestion.
People in the crowd are murmuring about Carlos Hyde. Should I tell them Michael Crabtree? It could go.
Whatever they do, we need to make sure that they dodge the Arian Foster landmine, a man who didn't even make it halfway throughout the season before retiring, and a man that most people now know as a Barstool podcaster. But at a given time, he was a 6th round pick to 0 RB needy teams in the FFPC main event. This is about as close to disaster as you can come in a draft. Can we protect our heroes?
Foster's still there in the 6th, and you guys are talking about Foster. I'm right now behind a bookcase, just screaming at you guys right now as you talk about how Foster is going to get the workload until JJ gets back.
I mean, we need to hear it. You know, we were just young, impressionable 0 RB bros who were too scared to continue to grab wide receivers. We pulled out after only 4 wide receivers. We filled out our starting lineup and then started to fill out other spots. We chickened out. This Arian Foster pick was cowardice. They need our strength. Maybe our fedora hats could give them the strength and the machismo that they need to actually draft a good team.
Poor guys do not know that Arian Foster is only going to carry the ball 22 more times in his career.
Oh, no.
When the cliff comes, it's, oh gosh, they're walking up to the board. They got a couple picks in their hand. Wonder if we can talk them out of Foster. And let's see what that other pick there is. Julius Thomas, not amazing, but we can live with that.
I think we could live with that. I mean, anything. I truly think anything other than selecting Arian Foster. They often say that week 17 is all that matters. I mean, for these guys, just even like week 7 to week 17 is all that matters.
Okay, it looks like it's Demaryius Thomas. Okay, even better.
Oh.
We can live with that here. I'm gonna skateboard through and snag that. They don't even have the Foster pick in their hand.
Please, sir, no
anymore.
skateboarding in the Westgate. No skateboarding in the Westgate.
Oh, okay. So they've clearly spotted me out. Someone wanted to, they could point to me being here, but it's not you seeing you. So we should be able to not explode the universe. All right, got out of the Foster pick. I don't have to scream to butcher and mixed movie metaphors. We don't have to scream through the bookcase at you guys as Foster goes up. No, it's Demaryius Thomas. Okay, on to round 7. Like this, we can work with this draft. It looks like you guys are talking about, okay, we didn't get Foster, but we could get some late RB targets like Jeremy Hill. Chris Ivory is going to be available later. But are you worried about Gio Bernard or TJ Yeldon there? I know neither of those guys are that great, but...
No, I'm terrified. FFPC, it's full point PPR. Jeremy Hill, this is the classic guy who, projectable volume, but could he lose, pass catching work to one of the best pass catching backs we've seen come in the league in a long time in Gio Bernard? I think these guys should be absolutely terrified. I think they're panicking. They're trying to just buy touches here in the middle of the rounds, and they're ignoring some profiles that could really blow up this team.
How are we feeling at this moment? Is it big weekend? Is it a hot night? Is it an inebriate, or not inebriated, but like, is there any reason you might be shaking, sweating, nervous in any way?
Yes. Well, this is 100% fact. We would not have known if it was a hot night because Pat and I literally did not leave the confines of the Westgate for 4 straight days. And it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but I promise you, we met at the airport. We took a taxi over to the Westgate. We exited the taxi, entered into the premise. We did not exit once. We didn't go to the pool. We did not see casino pumped in oxygen. We did not breathe any natural air until the Sunday night red eye. We got in Wednesday. So all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday until we stepped out to get another taxi to go to the airport. We lived inside of the Westgate. And I have to think that Westgate air is what compromised some of our decisions in this draft.
Wow. That's like the fantasy football thought leader version of the hyperbaric chamber, just pumping in that casino oxygen for 4 straight days.
Forget hyperfragile RB. It's hyperbaric chamber RB.
It may help. It may not. The science is not strong. Okay. So they're talking Jeremy Hill. We have an opportunity at a late Saints stack this year. They're kind of interesting. We're 7.5 rounds in. No one wants anything to do with Drew Brees, Willie Snead, or Michael Thomas. Offense that's shown it could pass the ball.
This is the old era. There's no Konami quarterbacks. There's no Jaden Daniels. There's no Anthony Richardson. I mean, we're looking at the Aaron Rodgers, the Matt Ryans, the Drew Brees, the Andrew Lucks, the Kirk Cousins, the Dak Prescotts, the Derek Carrs, the Matthew Staffords. How do we impart this wisdom onto our oxygen-starved drafters?
They're on the verge of just face planting. You do not want to pass out. Okay, the only way you're getting rushing outside of Cam Newton is like, what? Does Blake Bortles run a little bit?
Oh, no. I think, you know what? I think they are going to, I can kind of see their cheat sheet from over here in the corner. They do have Tyrod Taylor circled here on their sheet. These guys could not resist just a teeny bit of rushing upside in their quarterback.
With the Major League Baseball season underway and the NFL season just weeks away, there is no better time to attend live sporting events. One of my favorite memories watching live sports over the last couple of years was getting to attend a Washington Nationals game along with my good buddy Zach. We picked up those tickets on the Game Time app. It was so straightforward, able to check the view from the specific seats that we would be sitting in. Once we purchased those tickets, travel straight up to the stadium. The tickets are in the app. Straight through the gates to your seat, grab a hot dog, and get ready for the action. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace for Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and the lowest price guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Browsing through the Game Time app is simple. You're able to check out all the latest MLB games that are coming up or other high-profile events. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB or other sporting event tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code ROTOVIZ for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with the code ROTOVIZ, ROTOVIZ, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
We should have gotten Sammy F. Watkins, and now we could have had Tyrod drop to us. I'm actually under the desk right now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to stick my hand up. And
excuse me, sir. I think that's the skateboarder that's now crawling under table 11. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to get out from under the table. I do not know what you're doing. This is your last warning.
I changed fedoras. They still somehow knew I was the same guy that was here earlier. I'm going to have to be a little more clever, but I did get that Saints merch. Who that towel on the table? Okay, they went Breeze. Okay, this is good.
Oh, phew. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Do you think we would potentially throw the Earth off its axis if we were able to somehow, maybe via carrier pigeon, maybe a cocktail waitress, suggest that these guys take LeGarrette Blount on their team? Do you think we could pull that off?
Yeah, I think we'll have to go cocktail waitress this time because security will rough me up. And it's going to be harder to get back to the future that way. Okay. Hey, how many drinks in are you guys at this point? Is sending another drink over, is that going to create any issues?
I think if I recall correctly, we had one Heineken, just enough to be like, we're having fun drafting, but being terrified to getting a buzz and making a poor pick. So I think this will be okay. It'll look like we're just having a good time. We're loosening up. We do need to pre-tip the cocktail waitress, though, because she will absolutely not deliver this little napkin that says LeGarrette Blount on it if we only slip her $1. We got to slip her a 20. I don't know how much you budgeted for this expedition.
Inconspicuously, I do have a suitcase with me along with the fedora and the skateboard, suitcase full of cash, so we can get the money to the waitress to get this important information over. Okay, I like that. You're at blood alcohol level, cruising altitude on that Heineken. You might drink it, they might not, but the napkin gets over there.
If we could somehow, if these guys were able to draft LeGarrette Blount instead of Chris Ivory or Sean Drawn or Tyler Irvin, I mean, guys who are just figments of our imagination now. I mean, they could be cult heroes at RotoViz. They think about the different trajectory their careers could have taken if they didn't get off to such a slow start as high stakes fantasy players.
The note over there, they're still deliberating. So I took a risk. I was able to get in there and scribble Reuben drones. Okay, so that they're trying to.
Sir, I told you to get out from under the table. Get out from under the table. Security.
Okay, it looks like I'm gonna be compromised. I'm gonna get out to the car before these guys kick my ass, and I'm gonna have to walkie-talkie into you, and you're gonna have to do it full stealth. Okay, I think one more pick, and we can leave these guys in a place where September through December, Tuesday mornings are much more enjoyable as they write that article. There's Michael Thomas on there as a potential breeze stack.
I think that looks nice. I mean, I don't even know if these guys were kind of considering the benefits of stacking in a season-long tournament. I mean, this had barely been discussed in DFS, to try to pull off a stack in a high-stakes tournament. I mean, don't you just draft the best players every round? What if we push them ahead in the kind of, fantasy meta, the fantasy research that had, evolved and exploded in the years that follow? What if we could get them hip to these groundbreaking strategies back in 2016?
Similar to the wide receiver smash in 2013, some stuff your kids are going to love, and hopefully not throw off the time continuum too much where people are stacking at all costs years later. But it's a tightrope walk, and let's walk it. How are you going to walk over there though without running into 2016, Pete?
It's going to be tough. I did go to the gift shop though, and they actually had a full Elvis impersonator outfit there that I was able to purchase. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna walk over there, and what I'm gonna say is that myself hired a singing telegram from an Elvis impersonator, and I am going to sing all of the late league winners to Peter in the style of Elvis. LeGarrette Blount. You guys got to take LeGarrette Blount. Thank you very much.
It sounds like the people are loving it through the walkie-talkie.
Yeah. Sir, we know you are not Elvis. No one hired an Elvis impersonator. We don't even do singing telegrams. Please evacuate the premise before security disposes of you.
This isn't Under the Sea themed, sir. We're talking Bobby Darin. They're about to give you an ass beating. So you probably want to run out to the car. I got this PT Bruiser ready to tear through time. I think we got to hightail out of here. I wish we could have, sprung for the stretch limo, but we spent all of our money on the flux capacitor. I think we got to get out of here. Yeah. And oh man, we got struck by lightning. We're sent to, is this even the 21st century anymore? What the heck?
Where the hell what? Elon runs Twitter now? What the hell is going on?
Late July 2024. What is tech guys are melting down right now? What is happening?
Wait, starting running backs are going in the 8th and 9th round of fantasy drafts? Is something broken? Did we ruin the fabric of time?
We might have to go back again. I haven't thought through the IP possibilities on this, but there's a potential that we need to go back, do a lot of heavy plot lifting to then turn this into some sort of franchise.
Man, I think if we could only go back and tell 2016 Pat and Pete what the fantasy market would look like, that their zero RB ways would now become commonplace, become chalk, be something near a consensus, and also let Pat know that he won $2 million playing fantasy football. I think they would really enjoy hearing that.
I imagine now, I mean, we could check in now that we're back in 2024 because we avoided Allen Robinson in the first round. He could have 2 BBMs now.
It is very possible. I think it might be too hard though for Peter to hear that Pat is the one who won BBM and not him. He might think that, hey, could you just check your notes and make sure it wasn't me who won BBM instead?
1 BBM, what is that? It's the moment before you need another BBM. So that's just the state you'll be in after winning one.
That's true. You're always chasing that next thing, always chasing the next David Johnson in round 1.
This has been another episode of Remember That Game. Please rate, review, subscribe, and check out more episodes.